Hello, welcome everybody to your first video for College Algebra, Unit 1, Basic Math. This video right here is from Section 1.1, so as you take notes on it, I would like you to write both the unit title, Unit 1, Basic Math, and the section title, Section 1.1. If I do go too fast for you, you're always welcome to pause the video and catch up, or you could probably maybe pause it, try the problem if you think you know how to do it on your own, and then go back and play it again and check your work. The first thing is about simplifying a fraction or reducing fractions. I'm just going to do one simple example here of 28 over 21, and I'm going to simplify this fraction or reduce it. So to reduce a fraction or to simplify it, what you want to do is you want to find a number that goes into both 28 and 21 and divide the top and bottom by both of those numbers. You can use a calculator to aid you in this if you'd like, but I know that 7 goes into 21 and 28. 3 also does, but you'll want to pick the largest number. So when you divide the numerator, 28, by 7, you get 4. And when you divide the denominator, 21, by 7, you get 3. 4/3 is your final answer because no other number goes into both 4 and 3. I'm perfectly okay with putting your answers in improper form. This is an improper fraction where the numerator is larger than the denominator. If you'd like to change it to 1 1/3, because 3 goes into 4 once and there's 1 left over, you can. This is called mixed form, mixed fraction, but I'm perfectly okay, and actually I'd prefer it in improper form. That is reducing or simplifying a fraction. The next example I'm going to do, example number 2, and as you do these, don't forget to write the example number down next to each problem, is 3/5 plus 5/4. It's an addition problem. I'll kind of give you some advice on both addition and subtraction of fractions here. As you add or subtract two fractions, you're going to want to get a common denominator. Now, for me, common denominators are pretty simple. But some people do struggle with them. So I can look at the denominator 5 and 4, and I can say both of these need to change to 20 because that's the least common multiple of both 5 and 4. Now, if you're not good at that, you might want to make a list. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now, how did I get that list? You take your first denominator, 5, multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You take your second denominator, 4, and multiply it by 1. You get a 4, 2, 8, multiplied by 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 4 is 20. Hey, guess what? 20. 20 is in both lists, hence the common denominator is 20. Now, to change from 4 to 20, you need to multiply by 5. So I multiplied the denominator by 5. I need to multiply the numerator times 5, and that'll give you 25/20, which is the same value as 5/4. It's just a multiple of 5 larger. And 3 and 5. Okay, 5 to get to 20, you multiply by 4, so I need to multiply the numerator by 4, and that gives me 12/20. Then to finish the problem out, you just add the numerators. 25 plus 12, 35, 36, 37. The answer is 37/20. You should check for reducing, but 37 is prime, so it does not reduce. Now, if this happened to be a subtraction problem, it's not, but let's say it was, 12/20 minus 25/20. You would just subtract your numerators. 12 minus 25, be careful of your signs here, that's negative 13 over 20, and that would be your answer. But this isn't a subtraction problem, it's an addition problem, so I'll stick with 37/20. 3, we have multiplication of fractions. Multiplications of fractions is actually easier than addition and subtraction because common denominators are not necessary. So as you do this problem, 2/3 times 3/8, there are multiple ways to do it. Probably the easiest way to do it is just to multiply across. So 2 times 3 is 6. And 3 times 8 is 24, and you get an answer of 6/24. Now, this can be reduced, so you should always check for that. If you divide the numerator by 6, you get 1, and if you divide the denominator by 6, you get 4. 1/4 is the answer to 2/3 times 3/8. Now you can cross cancel also. I'll change colors here to show you how to do that, which kind of gets you the answer a little quicker. 3 and 3 you can cross cancel up and down, or the bottom of one side to the top of the other side, or the top of one side to the bottom of the other side. 3 over 3 is 1, and 2 over 8 I know is 1/4. So 1 over here, 4 over here. I know that because 2 goes into 2 once, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. Then you would multiply 1 times 1, and you still get a 1, and 1 times 4, and you still get a 4, and then the reducing part is not necessary. This is how you multiply. I'm going to take a brief moment to explain how to divide, because dividing is very simple. If this was a division problem, 2/3 divided by 3/8, it's basically almost an identical problem after you change it. In general, rule of thumb, you cannot divide fractions, but what you can do is you can multiply. You change it to a multiplication problem, and then you just need to take the reciprocal of the piece you're dividing by. So 3/8 becomes 8/3. Then you would repeat the process that I explained above, basically the same way. So if this was the case, it would be 16 over 9. And try to reduce that, but the only thing that goes into 9 is 3 and 9, and 3 and 9 doesn't go into 16. So that's how you would end up dividing, but of course it's not a dividing problem. It goes for story problems. This example here, example 4, you have 2/3 cups of sugar that'll be used to make 24 cookies. How much for 12 cookies? Now, I could probably explain hundreds of different story problems with fractions, but basically you need to read the problem, draw a picture if it helps, but you need to understand what mathematical operation do you need to do. Most likely it'll be multiplication, division, subtraction, or addition. Now in this case, if 2/3 of cup sugar is used for 24 cookies, how much sugar do I need for 12 cookies? Well, basically the ratio of these two numbers right here, 24 and 12, is basically 1 to 2. So 12 cookies is half of 24 cookies. So what I want to do is I want to take 2/3 of a cup of sugar and I want to cut it in half, or multiply it by half. Basically, with my math experience, I know that that would just be multiplying. You could also divide by 2. And then if you take 2/3 divided by 2, which is 2 over 1, you could then change that to 2/3 times the reciprocal, because that's how you divide fractions, 1 over 2. So basically it ends up to be the same problem. I'm going to do the cross-canceling, cut my time in half here, and then the 2 over 2 becomes 1 over 1, and then 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 1 is 3, so I need 1/3 of a cup of sugar. You could have probably figured that out on your own, but I wanted to show you through the addition, subtraction, multiplication of fractions how it's easy to do that. There is your Unit 1 video lesson. I hope you got the unit title and section number down, 1-1, and Unit 1 Basic Math. And then I hope you have example 1, 2, 3, 4 written down along with the problems and work. Good work. See you in class tomorrow.